Welcome to another episode of First Step, where we get industry professionals, leaders in their field, to share with us the steps they took to get them to where they are today. And with us, I have a comrade at arms, a comrade in my industry. But this brother has some years on me, honestly. So he's ideal to share on what it is we really just be going through and how he actually started his journey. We have with us, we have a brother with over 20 years experience in in advertising and audio production for advertisements. We have Romauld Castillo, the founder and director of Voice It TT and Razio. I'm saying that right?
Voice It. Well, it's actually Voice It
Voice
TT Productions, but I call it Voice It Productions. I just
uh,
join the T's on them.
Voice It Productions.
Yeah.
So Romauld, how things going, my brother?
Well, we did. We going through the thing, you know.
We going through the
We
judgment.
going through the thing. Yeah, of course, man. We can't give up, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Can't give up at all.
Romauld, from interacting with you, I mean, we would have known each other from being in the industry, but our paths kind of lead us to have a more close interaction of late. And you sharing with me your journey, always giving advice on the business and those things. I want to get an idea now of your story because yours would be almost like the real rat to riches kind of vibes in the sense then. So I want to share with us how your journey come about, my brother.
Why? This journey when this where you want from, boy?
I want,
You want
man,
you
you
want
coming
straight
from where,
you
but we
want
can
straight out of school or you want after that?
give me out of school into leading up into to you getting
Yeah.
into this.
All right. So I can't remember the year I come out of school. But coming out of school, everybody had their little indecisiveness of what they want to do, what they want to become. I've always wanted to be a chef because I like to cook. I shouldn't say like I love to, right? And that is still on the bucket list, to go on and spruce up that and get qualified in it, right? So that was the plan and then. But you come out of school and you're indecisive, you get yourself in different vibes, get into the DJ thing hard,
Right.
love our reggae music, that is all we were playing. We weren't playing anything else, only reggae down the line.
Right. So
Right.
you
But
in a sound system or you're just vibing?
well, we had a little group because I grew up in it. My uncle was a DJ. He, God rest his soul. Growing up in it, putting needle and record and going through create and all these different things, hooking up system and all these things. You get to have a love and a passion and an understanding of music. Them days in Serato, them days in pitch blend, them days in
I
that.
think, yeah.
No sync and them thing. And I playing on non-1200s. You're playing on thing and you have to put a little wax paper underneath and all them kind of different things. Men and know.
Right.
So you grow up doing them things, you understand it, you love it, you get into it. And then you start to channel yourself out, and you realize, hey, what are you doing with yourself? Because you ain't making a living. You want to better yourself, right? Never give up on music, and I never will. Still doing my DJ thing, not on a big platform, but more on the corporate side. But then you realize, hey, I had to do something. So I reach out to my mother, say, hey, what going on? I have a little job, I want to do something, right? So I ended up getting working at a pharmacy as a pharmacy attendant.
Right.
Now, I was Mr. Shy Guy, eh? And
Serious?
a lot of people, yeah, see your reaction is serious because when I started talking in the studio, there was going.
Yeah.
Right? The kind of energy and thing with his give
Sure.
off. But I was Mr. Shy Guy and I went into this pharmacy to work and I guess that broke the ice of the shyness. You start to realize that you have to attend to people, you have to be pleasant, and that built my confidence.
Right.
Because some of us, you come out of school, your confidence low, your self-esteem low, you're not too really proud of yourself.
Yeah. And you ain't sure what you want to really do and where you're really going.
Exactly. So right now, the mission is to live. The mission is to live, and people need to understand that we come here to live.
Mm.
You know, we come here to live. God give us that privilege. It is a privilege
And
for
that's
us to
spark.
live, and that spark, and we all born with that talent.
Mm.
People have to realize that we were all born with that gift, that you don't go to school to learn, right? Yeah, we go to school to get the education part of it and spruce up on other things, you know, if you want to be an accountant, if you want to be, you know, whatever it is you want to be, a doctor, a nurse, a dentist. But we all born with that one gift, and a lot of people don't ever get a chance to find that gift because they get channeled into what I want you to be. And you don't get a chance to understand who you want to be, what you want to be. So I was thrown into that pharmacy.
Right.
I say, you know what, I take it. I go in there, spend about a year and a half, I learn about pharmaceuticals. Right? So if it's one thing I could take care of myself,
Right.
you know.
Especially
right?
now when it might be critical.
Oh, Dan, but you need to know what to take. You have to
Right.
take your vitamin C.
Right.
Right? So I worked there for about a year and a half. And then I end up small talking with some ladies from the agency that was building right behind the pharmacy.
Right.
And I just small talk with them and thing. I just throw a little conversation. Hey, you all have any positions across here? You're looking for somebody.
Right.
So, you know, people is ready to talk about. And they say, serious, you want to leave here? You know, they were telling me, you're so good at what you do, thing. I say, yeah, I mean, life is about growth. You know, so small talk lead to opportunity.
Okay.
Right? Pleasant small talk. Right? So clearly my personality was bigger than I knew it was.
Yeah. Right.
Right? So that ended up opening the door now, and I went for the interview one day, and the next afternoon of the same day, you know, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Errol Piru, right? You know, thanks to him and him believing in me and seeing that, you know, this young man could have a future with us. And he gave me that opportunity, and you know that the story started there in advertising. This was in, I believe, either 2000 or 2001.
Wow.
Went in there as a messenger. All right, so you're dropping off whatever, envelopes, parcels, picking up, you know, different things. You know, you're doing your route. You know,
Right,
anybody
right.
ask you to do something, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You know, whatever the case may be, you can handle it. Right. But what amazed me is that, you know, you're walking to this building that is so fancy, and it feels so uplifted. You know, when you walk into a place and you feel like, hey,
Yeah, the energy of the
wow.
space, yeah.
Yeah, it was real energetic. You know, and that was McCann Erickson, right? Kudos to them also, because, you know, my business was built on there, you know, working there and getting the whole inspiration from there. I built my business based on that.
Right.
You know, so I went in as a messenger, worked my way up bit by bit. You know, I was audio producer within 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
After that, I was executive producer straight until I left in 2009.
So I just want to, just before you move on. So while you were in there as a messenger, how were you able to, were you able to go on sessions and see how people do the job, or?
Well, yes, I was open to getting to see what was taking place behind the scenes to get and not just for radio, you know. I learned the whole aspect of advertising. The only thing that I really didn't get into was media, right? But every other aspect of advertising, I mean, I grew. I went in as a messenger. I went across the traffic department. That is the department that actually traffics work to between the accounts executive and the creative department. Right. So you had to be on top of your ball with your deadlines. You know, you have a job in there on the first and it have to come out by the fourth. You had to make sure that, hey, where this job is, you know, fourth we have here, deadline, thing. So went in through that department, then get into the audio producer department, the EV department, and got the opportunity now to go to sessions and to book talent. Now, it's very scary at the beginning, you know, because you're dealing with all these big professionals, you know, at the time.
Big names and thing.
John Dunmora, Natasha Jones, Maurice Brash, all these guys, you know, you had to pick up the phone and call them. No, Mr. Shy Guy, the ice had to break.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So, you know, at time it happens, and I have to say, there's nobody I cannot call right now.
Right.
You know, so you went through the whole 9 yards of that. You get the opportunity to go into a recording studio and see how, you know, the copywriters helped at the time also to show how to direct the talent. Also with the talent also, they and all will show, it'd be like, hey, you know, who could do what, you know, what Conrad could do, you know, what Harold could do, you know. You realize, you start to hear the voice, and boy, with years of experience, you start to understand that this voice world is big.
Right.
It's big, it's big, it's big. It is not just a voice. And I still very passionate about what I do.
Right.
And utmost respect to every voice and talent out there, being it old, being it young, being it new, being it children.
Right.
You know, it takes a lot of level of bravery to want to do this. Right?
It does.
I myself is a voice talent, and I didn't know I had it. You know, I have voiced over 100 and something commercials in my time, and people be like, "You serious?" You know, but it's something that I didn't know existed in me. And as I say, they open the door of
Right.
opportunity.
Right.
You know, that door was there. You knocked on the door and you open it and you realize, wow, let me make the best of it.
So in terms of you being you're moving from humble beginnings, literally
Literally.
in the mail department, to move into traffic, and then on getting an overall picture of how agency life is and advertising, and you then going into audio and to production. You recall any particular moment where you start to feel like, yeah, boy, I'm coming into my own now, and yeah, I can handle myself, and that confidence started really build? Because now your personality is, you know, your presence goes before you then, you know, in the way
Yeah.
you move and how you carry yourself, you know.
Boy, let me see if I could remember, boy. I can't remember one particular moment.
Right.
You know, because I worked on not just radio alone, I worked on TV productions, I worked
Right.
on press, you know, when you have to go on photo shoots and all these different things with models, with characters, with all different types of people and stuff. And I can't recall one moment that gave me that extra to do my own thing.
Right.
I guess when it was time to leave in 2009, it was a very hard decision. But I had to make the decision, and I had to, because I always promised myself since I started to work at the age of 17 years.
Right.
I said by the age of 30, I have to be running my own business,
Wow.
whatever it is.
Right.
And 2009, July, I was 30,
Right.
and I left August.
Wow.
Right? I had to. Now, I didn't know this was going to happen.
Right.
I speak things into being.
All right. So you leaving was, I guess, circumstantial, or you'd
Well,
say,
it's a better boat. It's a better boat. You know, I always believe that things will happen before it's time.
Right.
And you know, sometimes you need to be pushed to be able to make the next step.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes you need that extra to make the next step. You can't just wait on, well, I just going with the flow.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the flow will stick you in a hole somewhere and you have to get out.
Right.
Right? So I actually got the push to say, hey, what? Time to pump. Right? And trust me, I didn't know what I was going to do. Right? I didn't want to get into this because at the time, there were a lot of studios. A lot of studios.
And this is
And
what,
I didn't.
2009, you said?
It's 2009, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't want to get into this, so I told myself, boy, what are you gonna do, boy? You know, and I was encouraged to get into it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna get into it. And I got into it. Razio was formed, right? That was not the name at the time. I can't remember the name at the time. When I went down in to register the name, you know, the name was already taken, and I was like, yo, what are you gonna call this? I just decided to join my names and come up with that.
Right. Okay,
You know, and come up with that, and boom shot, and the logo was done by my brethren out in Jamaica. He did the, I just tell him, I say, but right now I like a blade cutting through, boy. you know, so the logo itself like a blade, you
Mm.
know, and that's how Razio was formed in 2009. And since then, it was just like a branch off of the agency for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I learned there is how I built my empire. That's how I built
Right.
it. I built it in that kind of, you know, strength and force.
Right.
And you know, the discipline of being on time, you
Mm-hmm.
know, respect to your clients, respect to your talent, payment process, all these different things that I learned and I practice at the agency, I still practice to this day,
Right.
right? How I run my business.
Right. Because I if it's one thing I must admit, the manner and I guess as a business owner and professional in the industry, to be considered a professional, you had to have certain things checked, and one of them would be your approach to punctuality, your dealing with people and those things. And me experiencing you in flight, because we've had the opportunity to work together. One thing, you don't drop the ball when it comes to sessions. You
Man.
do. You're in the room. You work in the room, and that is a big part of it. The social part is a big part of our business as well.
Of
You know,
course.
but I think I guess you being in the industry so long and being able to pull from so many people's vibes and being exposed to it would help you think. So now you're 2009. You're jumping into it on your own now, and you're saying
Full
you're
speed
going
ahead.
100.
100.
So
So
where?
I went into that. Started off, I was living in Marval at the time in a little one bedroom apartment. Started off with Pasuri in my living room.
Right. Wow.
You know, build up a little thing in the corner to record,
Right.
and my little old Mac, you know, and I
Mm-hmm.
doing my thing. You know, I started off like that, you know, and after that, a year after 2010, with some colleagues of mine, they into video. You know, they decide that they want to move from where they are and get a bigger place, and they asked me if I want to come in. So we will have one camp.
Right.
It's audio and visual.
Nice.
Right. I see, I know scene 2010. I jump across there.
Mm.
Right. I was on Henry Pierce Street in Woodbrook. And doing my thing, keep doing my thing. You know, I work with a lot of people. Right. Countless sessions. And it was always a different vibe with each session.
Right.
You know, some sessions might be a little more difficult than others, but you have to know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, you have to be professional.
Yeah.
You know, I always say if somebody have to stop coming by me, they have to stop coming by me based on they don't like me.
Right. Right.
Not on me, my
Apart from your
professionalism,
work. Right.
my work. Right. So it had to be either their personal issues
Right.
or they decide they want to give somebody else a chance.
Okay. I
Right.
get
And I
it.
say, in all fairness, it have enough work to go around. But I always said I don't want it to be where, you know, I was disrespectful or my work lagging, you know, or something wrong in that aspect. I really don't want that. So I managed to keep that so far, hopefully. You know, I don't really hear anything. You know,
Concerning your
concerning
work
that.
ethic and
Yeah.
your quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, boy, I mean, you're not in all these circles. You don't know what happening behind closed doors. You never will.
Exactly. And I do business.
And you know business. I'm sure you
Yeah,
don't.
because watch me. At the end of the day, when they get up in the morning and they give thanks, you have to go out there and get what you have to get.
Right.
Right? Your whole being is about, yo, I got bills to pay. I am passionate about something. And I am just going to do that today. I'm going to love what I do. I don't work, you know. I don't work. I don't work. What I do is not work.
Right.
I don't consider it work.
Right.
Because the kind of passion I put in it, I think is more love than anything else, boy.
Yeah. But
It's more love than anything else.
I think, but Romauld, being your personality, being such a energetic, you know, bright kind of vibe and fiery kind of energy at times, and that's the exact word, passionate. You think that is a strength and a weakness?
Always. Always. Because, you know, some people might think you're coming across too strong, too cocky. You know, they might think you know it all. But it's not a matter of that, right? I love to use analogies, right? And all right, so I come in by you now to record my voices and stuff, and we connecting and we working together as a team, right? I know music, I understand music, but I now starting to learn to play little chords, and one day I might create a beat today, but I will trade by you or one of my other colleagues and them to say, hey, what do you think about this, right? Because I respect you for what you do,
right?
And Trinidadians have this way about them. And I have to say Trinidadians because this is where I live and this is the people I communicate and work with. That everybody feel that they know. Now, if I come by you to do something, Arion, where music is concerned, I will ask a question. And you might say, yeah, or you might say no. And when you say no, I learn. When you say yeah, I say, hey, I know something. Right? But we have a lot of people who come and say, I want. And those say, hey, could this be done? But they will never go by the dentist and tell them how to drill the teeth. They will never go by a doctor and tell them how to diagnose what they have. And I think that we need to give each other that type of respect for what we do and what we qualified in. Right now, I get my respect from some of my clients. I have some of them that that they still kind of they want to be involved, and they I wouldn't say difficult, but they put their input in.
Right, they have their way. Right,
they have their way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We in life we sometimes you right, sometimes you wrong. Yeah, we could never always be right, and we can never always be wrong. So I think my passion could be overpowering sometimes, and sometimes I had to tat back. I know. Sometimes I just stay quiet.
Right.
And don't say nothing. And then sometimes I will voice my opinion. Hence the reason I voice it, because that's what I have to do. That's what I expect people to do. Say what they have to say. Right? Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Always.
It's how you say it. You could phrase and always think before you speak. Because internalize how that person is going to react.
Right.
Don't just jump out yourself. Now, sometimes we jump out ourselves because
you mean you're emotional,
Yes, emotions is getting in the way. Emotions is getting in the way. So sometimes you just have to stand back and just take deep breaths, practice a little 5 second, 10 second little breathing skill before you open your mouth to pass judgment or to stir up an argument. Sometimes you just need to stop and ask a question. So my personality is very big. I was told that on many occasions. But it's not something I am disappointed about or don't like about myself. I actually think that is what made me who I am today. Because I didn't know that energy existed in me.
Wow. Because what I get is, again, from interacting with you, I could see where your strengths are, and it is just that the passion that you speak with, the passion that you do your work with, and as a result, I'm assuming that might be the single biggest contributor to your achieving the successes that you would have seen in your business. At the same time, I also think it could have been because you would speak your opinion. It could also be a situation where you would find little certain drawbacks or certain contention in certain other aspects, and that's normal, I suppose.
Yeah, that's normal. At the end of the day, it makes your life spicy.
You like
to me, it makes
spice,
it makes your life spicy because you see, I don't like to be bored. And it's not that controversial. It's just that I believe that people need to be able to see what they have to say without being blacklisted.
Which is a very real world in our industry.
Exactly. And I have seen it over the number of years. Right? From 2001 when I started to now, I see the whole blacklist aspect based on different things. You can't voice your opinion for your money. You can't voice your opinion to say, hey, no, this is not how we work. This is not what we learn.
Right.
We can't unlearn what we learn.
Yeah.
Right? This is what we learn. This is what we know. Right? And don't ask us to do that, because then you're changing the whole format of the thing. And I have seen within the number of years, how everything has changed in the industry. And it will change for good and a bad.
Okay.
Right? It will change as life. Life always change for good and bad. But we
constant.
always try to look at the bad change. So like at COVID now. You know, people saying, oh gosh, ting. We suffer it, we this, we that. Yeah, it's our people feeling it. I'm not doubting that, and I feel it for them. Right? But then again, I always see, if you fail to prepare to fail. In life, I always was told, hey, save something for a rainy day. Because you have rainy days and you have sunny days. Not when the sun's shining, you're having a good time and you're frolicking and everything is hunky-dory and everything best. And then when rain starts to fall, your roof leaking. Right? Your car shutting down, you have to take an umbrella to go on the road. Right? So you have to always prepare yourself. People put themselves in situations. I mean, some people can't help it. You know, it's different situations, different things happening in their lives, family background, brought up, see all these different things. But we must always try to sit down and reflect and understand self, love self, right? And see what it is you want for yourself growing up. Because it's never too late, you know. It's never too late.
And you see, a lot of times we reactive, you know.
Yeah, we're not pro. We're
COVID nobody could have predict the impact COVID would have.
No.
Would have all kind of plans. 2019, I saying, boy, go and do this. 2020 is my year. This that thing.
Correct.
You know, and then, but now you had it really opened up your eyes to see, I think, how resilient, you know, you are, and how able to pivot, I guess, as quickly as possible, because you would have also watching the business and using your foresight and say, you know what, time to
make changes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, time to make changes. It's something I always wanted to do. So when I just a fast track, I go back a little bit again. When I move with these guys and them, you know, the business started to take a little dip in 2017, 2018, 2016, somewhere around it. Business started to take a little dip, and I had to pump.
Overall,
because we had to, things were starting to dip. So we say, you know, them say they're going home. And I was like, okay, well, I need to find a place because I ain't going home.
Right.
So I look, and I found another place in Belmont, actually, where I learned audio production. Right. And I said, wow, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end? Because I went straight back there. Right. I set up the studio there and ran out my time. I think they say it would have been 4 years I'm there. And when COVID happened, it was like, gosh, right. Started see things. So business started to slow before that. And I wanted to make the jump and say, move home, you know, or come out totally. Right. But I have about 4 clients that believe in me. They wouldn't think twice to go by someone else.
Right.
Because they know they could drop a script by me or drop a brief by me and we will get the job done.
Right.
Fast.
Right.
And great. You know, so I say, Romauld, I say, you ain't sort out yourself yet on what it is you really want to do. So stay in eating. And I say COVID come and I had to make a decision because rent was paying and work wasn't coming in as much. So I say, you know what? I took a room home, converted it. You know, this is where I am right now. And I doing my stuff here, you know, and evolution is the key. COVID brought evolution for me. I don't know what it brought for other people, you know, but it brought evolution for me of, hey, this is the way forward. We don't need to be in a recording studio every minute. You know, I'm encouraging the voice and talent in the voice world to get your stuff up and running. You know, so you all don't need to come in studio. Technology is here for us. Get your equipment. You know, we directing via Zoom, via whatever platform. Send me your files, and we as engineers, we mixing at home. and sending our files. Now, because this is how I normally work with the outside world, right? So if I doing work for up the islands, if I doing work for Canada or wherever, this is how we work. They don't be in studio with me.
Right.
They will direct their sessions via the platform. I will give them their files, and that's it. They will transfer their money to my account, and boom, bam, we move along. So this is how the world technology, again, it's a good and a bad because we're so accustomed to one thing. We are afraid of the other. Yeah. But this is the now. This is how it's moving forward. So we had to move with the times.
That's the truth. And a lot of times people just, because I speaking to some people in the business as well, and they say, boy, we in the business and people working from home probably even more than they were working when they were in the office, And however, some of the, I guess the older establishments still kind of insisting, hey, you need to clock in thing and you need to be here by 8 and we need to know your thing. But so which I think is a disservice in this situation that we're facing. I would sometimes even say that we're blessed with, because it's causing us now to
change.
It's forcing us to change.
It's forcing us to change. And you see the people and them now, the employers, right? They need to understand that this is the time.
Yeah.
All right, let me take, for example, again, analogy. You can't be telling me you don't want to work virtually from home and let your staff work from home, give them a little extra salary, something. You can't be not wanting to change, but you're driving a brand new car, hybrid. Sorry, you go back in the days, go back carburetor. Because you see, your mind saying one thing one way and saying thing the next way.
Yeah, it's for self.
No, it's for self. Think about your staff. Think about commute. Man, no traffic on the road. All these different things. Think about these things. And I realize, and I've been paying attention and listening to a lot of people complain about the working from home or the working virtual. Right? Because now their bosses expect them to work longer than their time because they're home. I was like, no. If you're working, your working hours is 8 to 4:30. You log in 8, you log out 4:30. Right? You can't expect your staff to answer email at 6 o'clock because they have their computer at home. Another thing is, I hear people going through things they can't get sick because they're home. I was like, but wait, suppose you have a migraine. You can't turn on because you can't watch lights and all that.
You gotta take a sick day, right?
You're still entitled. So just like the teaching part of it, where a lot of teachers don't know how to communicate on this platform, is the same with employers and employees. Is a respect now. And as big people, if you know your work is 8 to 4, sign on at 8 o'clock for me, please. Right?
Good.
Don't be missing in action.
Right.
Do the people work efficiently like you used to? And this is a time where you will see now if your staff competent, if they were slacking all the time, right? And you will also see if your boss or your supervisor is a micromanager and they want to be just over your back. And we have a lot of them in Trinidad.
Yeah.
I say that with no apology.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them in Trinidad, and we need to wake up with the times because we don't know when we are going to come out of this, and we don't know what is coming after.
Indeed.
People studying when this finish. What about what could come after?
Yeah, I mean, it could go both ways.
It could go both ways.
The biggest boom we ever see, and the biggest set of blessings, things moving in a different direction. It could be.
It could be a next step of madness. Right? So we have to always, I always say as a soldier in this army. Right? So I had to always.
You love that reggae, boy. You love your reggae, boy.
I love my reggae. Right? As a soldier in this army. And if I can be ready, to be in a war and to be had a fighting spirit of survival, of living. And in that same spirit, you're helping one another in whatever way you could do. You know, you're helping somebody, you're pulling somebody with you to help them, you know. It could be one person alone.
Yeah.
Right? And that is, I've always been like that. I've always spoken to my talent, you know, by my space. Well, my space is your space now. Right? Because when I come by you, you see how I move there, you know. That is what I always used to have, which is a lot of healthy conversation, controversial conversation, fiery conversation.
Yeah.
In this space where it was always a good vibes. People used to feel, if you come in the studio, I remember a time a girl come in the studio. First time I working with her. And she didn't want to come. I begged the girl to come to the studio because I need to get this thing done for the client. So I beg. She ended up coming. She came there with a migraine. When she leaves there, she had no migraine. See, Romauld, it's the first time I met you. And I must say, whatever energy you have inside here, it is working.
Wow.
And I say, thank you very much. The girl come and sit down. She take off her slippers, right? And she just relax. I say, here, what? Just breathe. I ain't ready for you yet. Just breathe. Just close your eyes. And I put on some meditation music for the girl. I walk outside. I went outside, make a phone call, thing. When I come back upstairs, I say, you ready? She say, yeah. I say, all right, cool. By the time she finished recording thing, she was good.
Wow.
You know, so when the energies that I think that I give off, being in my presence or me talking to you over the phone or whatever it is, I think I have something there that I didn't even know exists, as I tell you before. And I give thanks every day for that blessing more than anything else, because I could get up and voice it. I could get up and voice it in the morning. I could make a phone call. You know, I could meet talent. Or I could just sit down talking on the phone with somebody about life.
Right.
You know, and I believe that interaction is what people need to understand, that we have life.
Yeah, man.
You know, and we had a life and love.
That's the thing. So I'm trying to pull out now in terms of you moving from the humble beginnings, you know, and taking it now to 20 years in the business. I don't even know if you would have foreseen that this is how your story would have unfolded, you know. And so 20 years in the business, you're moving forward. You have to make your adjustments. You're doing what is necessary. Could you pinpoint any particular attribute in yourself that, you know, kept you sticking in the course, like as I say, as a soldier, you know, and you're moving? What you think it might be a strongest personality trait or attribute that help you survive and not just survive, but strive and, you know, and grow in business?
Hey, one alone, boy, I think I have plenty, you know.
Well, let me get a couple.
Yeah, no. One of the things that I think that I have is people skills, right?
And how important do you think that is as you bring that up in this business? Guys always speak on that, but I want to hear you.
First thing. That's the first thing. That's the first on your list. People skills. Because you could have the best business, right? Fanciest building,
Best
fanciest
equipment.
car, best equipment, everything. And your personality is zero. I would recall a time, this was back in the agency, you know, I used to try and dabble around the studios to share the work around. And then me make my own decision on who it is I would like to work with.
Right.
And I went into a studio at a time, in call no names, you know, and the energy was null and void. And I young in the game then, But, you know, you went one place and you felt the energy.
Right.
You went to the next place, you felt a different energy. You went to the next place, you feel a different energy. You go by this place now, and you'd be like, zero.
Zero, right.
So, not that the person couldn't do the job, you know. That the person didn't have the passion for it. Or they had the passion and they end up getting bitter based on whatever. Right? So, I could not work with them. You know, so there were a couple of studios that I would go by because the energy was there. You know, the energy was there. Energy is very important. As I say, personality is one of my strongest attributes.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
I remember a time I walk into a room and famous lady in Trinidad, I wouldn't call her name. You know, I had to be careful how I call her name on the platform here. You know, but she saw me and I was talking to another lady about business and things, and she said, young man, now this woman could be in her 70s. Young man, you could sell ice to Eskimo? And I watch her and I said, thank you very much. You know, and that made me feel good coming from this icon, because she's an icon.
Right.
You know, she's still alive and well respected. And I was like, wow. I went out of there feeling so, you know, like a child, you know, get toy. Boy, I feel this kind of thing, boy. I have kind of energy, you know. And it's little things like that will make me feel good. You don't need to give me something physically. You know, one of my proudest moments, right? And I was young again, and this was about 11 o'clock in the night, right? In a studio, we recorded a jingle for B Mobile back then. And I had 3 power horses in the studio, Marshall, Bungie, and Sherwin, at the same time.
At that time, that would have been the 3 main men in soca in the world.
That was them. That was them. And they
it.
recorded their first collaboration for B Mobile back then. I can't remember what year that was. It was 2006, somewhere around there. Right? And that for me was one of my moments of saying, wow, look at these 3. And them fellas, them days, the energy strong. You know, and big respect to each and every one of them. It was always a pleasure working with them together, working with them alone, you know. And all the other artists and them that I've worked with, you know, everybody, all the producers, they make me who I am today because I've learned something from each and every one of them. Right? As I always go into a session, not just to direct, but to learn. To come out of the session with something, some kind of substance. It's not just a work. It's not just a job. You leave there with something about the person, or about something about life, something just happened, you know. But that's me. I always about every day you step out, every day you get up, you have to learn something. And it could be just one thing. It could be just one thing, you know.
Yeah, indeed.
Just one thing.
So personality, and then I guess to continuously learning, being a student alive then.
That's what we are. You could never learn everything while you're here.
No, that is
You're
truth.
always learning something. I've lectured before. You know, I got the opportunity to lecture at Star Broadcasting, right? Big up Nigel and the Star Broadcasting School, right? I was there for a little while. You know, Nigel gave me the opportunity, and you know, that phased off after a while because I had other things to attend to. I round up the team. It was 2 years ago. We would one of the booths in Career Day in Holy Cross College.
Right.
We wowed those students. We were supposed to go back. That didn't happen, but it will. You know, but we put on a real nice show there for them, showcasing what we do in the multimedia industry. You know, because a lot of the younger ones don't know what the industry entails. You know, they just see these glamourful things, they see these ads, they see these screens, they see all these things, but they don't understand.
Videos and things,
You know, because what I realized that in the school that day, a lot of the parents, you know, the kids studying to be doctors, lawyers, and I was like, wow, engineers and all these things. So some of them actually want to be musicians, but they didn't know how to channel and go and how big it is, again, because we don't have that industry in Trinidad.
Yeah. And what we have is always powerful, is not well respected at all.
It's not right. They don't think that they look at us as minorities, right? And unfortunate. And I say these things without apology, Arion, because this is from my vision, from my eyes, and I'm entitled to my opinion.
Indeed.
You know, I honestly think in a time like now, and this is something I was discussing with you, in a time like now, right? If you're also for industry and for Trinidad and Tobago, radio stations play 75% of the local music every day. You know why? It will generate an income because you will get the cut.
The royalties, right?
Royalties.
The payments, right? Yeah.
You know, things like this to uplift the younger ones. You know, to give them that, build that path for them. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago, to me, in the Caribbean, we are a force with talent. We have some of the most talented individuals. We just lost an icon. Rest in peace, Sprang. Right? When these fellas go and these comedians and all these icons that we have here leave, who do we have coming behind? Are these people prepared? Are you passing the baton to them to take the next 800? Are you doing that? Right? We're supposed to be doing that. I don't want to be in this forever. I want to be able to pass it on to somebody else, let them do it and do it. You know what? Do it better than me.
Right.
Because you're doing it now with more technology. The technology is advanced. Right? You will have a different ear, a different eye for certain things. You go through hard. Let me try something else. But you see, we have this mentality that we want to hold on until we reach gray, we reach 65.
Trying to hold on
and still we want to be involved.
Yeah.
Give people a chance. Give people a chance. Your time to reign has gone. I'm not telling you you ain't go get a sprinkle, you know. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, they had their time as actors. They had their time to reign. They get little sprinkles after. Right. So you have to understand that, hey, there's your time, make use of it, you know, and leave a good impression. You know, let people say, wow. My paw was raised this morning seeing all the people posting stuff about Sprang, you know, little articles and little how to put it, the little interactions that they had with him, you know,
video clips with
a few video clips, and it just shows that, hey, the man was loved no matter what. He had a name called Sprangalang, right? But it was a household name.
It was.
That's what he was. He was a household comedian.
And he would have impacted a lot of people in the business coming up and influencing them.
Correct.
People say Sprangalang was the man, you know.
He was the man. So again, we as producers, as you know, directors in this industry and running our own show, we always have to remember that when you leave here, what it is you want to leave. What you want people to remember you as, it's either when you depart or you just come out of the industry, what it is you want people to remember you as, right? You want them to remember you as the blinger, or you want them to remember you as, you know, the inspirer, the inspiration behind everything, you know, what it is you want. And my mission is always to see, you know what, I want to leave a mark of where people felt inspired just being around me, just talking, you know, they just, hey, I want to throw an idea out to you. A lot of people still call my phone just for my input on how much to charge a client.
Yeah.
You know, or what you think about this job, you think I should take this job? And things like that. And to me, it is an honor to share my knowledge. Take it or leave it, but I will share it, because I heard an old man say the other day, anytime a man living on this earth can't share his knowledge, he's stupid. Just so the old man say, you know.
Right.
I was in a car parts place, and the old man see that, and I watch him, I say, Unks, you talk real sense there. Because you're supposed to share your knowledge.
Is it true?
What you going to do? You going to dead with your knowledge?
Some people don't mind that though, eh?
I can't do that, Arion. I can't do that.
Neither can I.
I learn from you, and hopefully you learn from me, and hopefully we learn from other people around us.
And we can share what we learn with others, and we move.
Of course, we have to do that.
Yeah, man. So I wanna shoot out some questions that you know.
Shoot, man.
Right? With all the knowledge, these are my go-tos. I must ask everybody this. With all the knowledge and experience that you gathered with the 20 plus years experience in living and the business, if you had a time machine and you could go back now to talk to Romauld Castillo, coming out of school, the young Romauld, to advise him now, on certain moves you think he should make or shouldn't make or whatever, what would you tell him, if anything at all?
So I'm talking to 15-year-old.
You're talking to the 15-year-old you.
15-year-old.
Yeah, the shy one, the one who,
Yeah, yeah.
thing, yeah.
Boy, what I will tell him is to study your schoolwork. I can't say I regretted not getting my full education. But I will always tell the younger generation, my nieces, my nephew, push hard in your schoolwork. Because we live in a world where if you don't come out with those passes, they tend to trample on you. Right? That piece of paper is very important to the outside world. Right now, I'm not saying that if you don't, because it are some people, I was never a book guy. Right? I have some people who not into the books, but artistic in some way. And as I said in earlier conversation, we all born with a gift and a talent. And it is up to our parents, it is up to us to try and find that talent and what it is we want to do and to become in this world. Now, plenty of us is jack of all trades and master of none. Right? To me, I feel like that sometimes. Right? And the people who know me know I have a million and one ideas.
Yeah,
I have plenty ideas, right? But my problem is I can't sit down and do one. Trying to work on that now. But I will always tell the younger generation, try and get as much education as you can. It will help. It will help, firm up things in your life. Your self-esteem is be a lot bigger. Because what happens now when you do have it and you go into an interview and you stand up there with the person next to you who come out before you or going in after you, and they look in a certain way, and and you feeling it's a very intimidating world that we live in, right? And sometimes we put that on ourselves, or sometimes people put it on us. They downplay us.
Right.
But get your education. It is not the last stop, but it's the first step. It is the first step to start to move forward. And that's the only thing I will actually tell them. And believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dream. If you want to do something, trust me, you can. Yeah. You can. Once you put yourself there, the human beings are limitless. Indeed. And we have to understand that. We have to understand that. Trinidad especially need to understand. And the higher powers need to put things in place and not just run a school full of academics. We have to get the arts and entertainment fully into the school. We are Caribbean people. Expressive people. That is the word. We are expressive people. We are, musical people. We are rhythmic people. Because we talk like that. Right? So don't take away that aspect from us and just trying to push accounts or trying to push doctors and lawyers. More doctors and lawyers and accountants we will have. Come on, no disrespect to them. No disrespect. We all need each other in this time, but I think we need more trade. We need more people who crafts. We need this in the country. Yeah. And once we start to build back that forum, I think we will see a change. There are a million things I could talk about where I think will be a big impact in the crime situation in Trinidad, and one of the things I will touch on if I have time now is, again, being in the audio industry and in the DJ world and being in understanding men who was in sound clash. I was never in clash thing. I was never in double thing and thing, but I like it. I know. I remember that. Right? I used to go Maximilla dance and all them different dance and listen to plate and, grow up around these things and understanding that these men and them just find an avenue to express themselves. This was an avenue to express themselves. Right? Now we don't have that song system thing really and truly anymore. What we have now is more artists. So we have to have an avenue now for them to express themselves. right? Now, I do agree with some of the music that is be singing about
Right.
something. That's just my opinion, right? But as we're playing, and that's what people relating to. Now, some of the music had double meaning. So sometimes you had to peel it
Peel it back,
and
yeah.
taste the fruit.
Right.
You understand? Don't eat the skin. And understand that, hey, but wait now, it has substance.
Yeah.
It has substance.
It has skills.
So,
It has,
exactly. So I always say, boy, if I, with a group of people, because I can't do it alone, have the powers to drop a recording studio in every community, right? And have these people who want that, have that energy. As they say, I had the fire, I had the passion. Them had the same passion, you know. But they don't know where to put it. So what they do is get themselves in wrongdoings.
yeah.
Or end up in some kind of
Yeah.
bacchanal thing, you know? So give them the opportunity to come and express themselves. You know, I'm not saying all of them will want to do it, but I sure if you get a handful, boy, and you make sure and play their music, them fellas will feel like how that woman tell me the day that I could sell ice to Eskimos. They will feel on top of the world
Indeed.
because they will say that, hey, our music playing, boy. They're
As I
playing
said,
the music. Because remember back in the day, it's a real artist, real soca artist, we call it no name, that get shaft for expressing themselves. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that everybody is wrong, all right? But we again, we live in a society where people, they like to downplay one another, right? And I am not about that. I am about upliftment. I am about togetherness, love, unity, right? And that is me as a person. And I believe if we get these younger ones off the streets and put them in a studio and tell them, belt, let me see where you have, ride that rhythm, and mold them now and say, all right, here what? I like you. Come, spend money in that,
developing that, yeah.
right? I'm not saying that you can't support carnival, but we can't be supporting carnival all the time because you're supporting 3 months, basically 3 months for the year, right? What happening after March month? Again, there's only a certain group of people making an income off a carnival. I love carnival. I like to wine and jam, right? I have no thing about carnival to say bad or negative. No.
Right.
What we had to figure out now is what next,
Continuity after carnival.
right? So Decibel Showcase, all right, they started something with that, you know, big up Simon and them on that, the way they started to bring on the younger ones to do their stuff. But more could be done on a government platform,
Right.
right? Where budget now for the year have to include helping the younger ones in that aspect, right? Put some money out in here, you know, you have producers, you have people, you're employing people, right? And then you're mandating the stations and them now, all they had to play the music because we go come down and all you,
Exactly.
right? No disrespect to the Jamaicans and them, you know, we guys, we brothers outside there also, but let we hold ours here.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about unity and we're talking about us. Let me hold us here. We are multi-talented people here.
The thing is, expression is a thing that will always is like water. It will find a way, and if
Of
you do,
course.
and if you do take some measure of control, you'll get where you're getting now, which is what people complaining about, but they never really connect. So you're getting the Trinidad and the blow out your brain and this and that, which is expression, you know. And
It's
if
expressions. You have to mold it. You have to mold it. See, the thing is, they didn't put nothing in place to mold it. So them fellas and them they
exactly, so you
street out.
get now, it comes out
Yeah.
how it
You have
had
to take what you
expressed
get.
itself.
Yeah, you
Yes,
have to take what you get because
exactly.
you don't see that these younger ones want to do something.
Exactly.
You don't see that, hey, but Trinidad is musical geniuses here, man.
Yeah.
Let me do something.
We harness
Back in the days when you go in Kiskidi Caravan, when you have thing in Spectrum, when you go in these parties and them, and it's full local. When I say I had a nice full local concert
outside carnival.
outside Carnival, that you say full a venue,
Yeah.
right? You can outside a Carnival, who full in venue? They might get 1 or 2 events in between the year that full our venue,
Right.
right?
I can't call it off the top. I mean, the youth and them might have their own little underground business going on, but
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
mainstream, I can't.
Mainstream, they don't have
You had to
anything.
bring in some international act possibly.
Yeah,
Pull
club
up
life
the fun.
dead. Club life dead. You know, the club, when I used to go club hunting back in that who is only 151 standing right now, and Silhouette and me and who else again, you know, and that wrap up since March. So what next? And coming out of COVID, people need to figure out what is next.
Indeed. Let me get the
Right?
last bit of questions, boy, because I feel we can talk whole morning. And we
Yeah,
have,
you know me.
you know it is.
Yeah, let me go, let me go.
The last one is what I call the playbook. Right? And the playbook is your steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, to achieving your definition of success. So what would your playbook be, Romauld, in terms of to make your moves towards success?
Step 1 is the dream. You have to dream about it. Right? You have to put it in your mind first, put it in your heart. You have to have a love for it. You have to have a love for it. And we're not talking about a job here. We're talking about achieving something, as I say, step 1, step 2 to that success goal.
Right.
Right? So you have to dream it. You have to love it and dream it. After that, you have to put it into action. So we're talking about 100% all, right? Determination, sleepless nights, right? Don't give up. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, again up, you're thinking, you're writing down, whatever the case may be, right? If it's a house you're building, right, you have to be there every day, right? 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening, sometimes till 10 in the night, because you're doing stuff. After you do that now, that's step 1, step 2, building it. That determination could never end. That determination can never end. So once you have that determination and that love, trust me, you can reach your goal. It's not always about having money. It's not really always about that. Because you could create something very simple for yourself, right? And if it's something that requires money, trust me, that money will come. As I was listening to your story, right? Don't ever think because you're going through a rough time now that is going to be the end of the all. So have that dream, right? Have that passion, have that determination. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Always know that God, the higher being, the higher power, He have a plan for you, and sometimes it's not your plan. So you might create the biggest plan for yourself. The biggest plan, you execute everything nice, and boom, it failed. And you come down on yourself and say, oh, I think, I can't do this again. No, that wasn't the master plan. The master didn't want you to do that. And we force things. So you force it, and you end up in a next bacchanal thing again. No, sometimes, if something not happening, change course. As you say, run up at the top of the hill, get up, meditate, talk to God. Trust me, He will send in a message either with somebody or with something. But it's up to us to open our eyes to see the messages. So always be, as I say, as a soldier, when you get up and you pump, you get up and you pray, always look for the signs. Signs are very important. So your passion, your dream, your determination, and the signs that either go left or go right.
Yeah.
You have to understand life is a road full of signs. It is. And I always believe that nothing happens before it's time. I wanted to move the studio about 2 years now to start this whole virtual thing. Right? Because I see it was taking off, where I was working with people outside, a couple clients, you know, and I was like, well, wait now, if them could do it, my clients could do it. But I was shut down. You know, people was like, nah, we want to come in the studio, blah, 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 blah. I say, all right. I say, look at COVID. Everybody was left no choice. So we should not be waiting on something like that to happen to make a move. But that is a typical human being, right? We wait for something to happen to make a move,
Indeed.
right? So
Indeed.
just keep pumping, people. Just keep pumping. Believe in yourself. Love what you do. Have that passion for it. Passion before money, right? Don't think about the paper you're going to meet. Think about the love you put into this. Because if you don't put the love into it, trust me, that paper ain't go come. And if it come, it could take long to come. So put the passion in it first, and try to make your life earnings not as a job, but as a passion. And always do what you have to do to power what you love to do.
Ah. Well said, my brother.
You
Well
understand?
said. Well said. Yeah, man. You speak with some wisdom there, Romauld,
Yes, I
as I
was
would
and
expect.
being around the greatest greats and
Yeah, man.
the older heads and the younger ones too, because the younger ones could teach you something. Don't ever feel you're too old to learn.
Indeed.
So I have been exposed to a lot of people in this industry and out of the industry, local and foreign, and I always learn something from someone.
Bless
You
up.
know, thank you very much, sir.
Yo, Romauld, on that note, we'll say thank you, give thanks. Thanks for
Always.
taking all the little time on your morning to share with us on your
Of course, man.
journeys. And, I know definitely people would have, gotten a little insight on one or two things that they really didn't know about.
If they didn't know, now they know.
You understand? If you don't know, now you know. But, again, Romauld, thanks so much for sharing, taking the time, and, blessings to you, your business, and you moving forward with, all the different journeys and stages in your life
Yeah.
at the same time.
Thank you very much, sir, and blessings to you too. On big respect for the first step. This is something that I think we need. I think we need to showcase the entrepreneurs and all the business people that not big, that not big, but big in their own way.
Indeed.
That you could bring them out and let people see, hey, so there's a person. That's good. Kudos to you, partner. This is it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much again, and blessings to you also.
Yeah, man. Respect, respect.
Respect.
And you would eventually be bringing out your thing, so we're going to be looking out for that.
Yeah. Well, now doing this here today, you just gave me the push.
Yeah, well, look at that.
No, you gave me the push because it's something that I was planning for almost 5 years now.
Right.
Right? And I have to do it because, we don't want to be losing people and you can't connect. So what you're doing is actually connecting with people. This is archives, right? This is a library you're building of this time. So it's something I'm working on, and definitely you're going to be part of it.
Oh.
Right? And we're going to do this thing, brother. Thank you very much again,
Yeah, man. And your love and blessings, Romauld.
Same to you, King.
Yes.
Respect.